Riley, Executive Editor of Supermarket News, and today I am joined by Dotty VanderMolen, VP of Business Development at Epic Sales Partners, who is joining us before this year's big IDDBA show in New Orleans. Welcome, Dotty.
Thank you for having me, Chloe, and it's exciting to be here.
Wonderful. Well, we are excited to have you here. Now, Dotty, you are being honored this weekend at the show during the Champions of Change Awards, which are co-presented by IDDBA and Supermarket News. And you're going to be receiving the Legacy of Excellence Award, which congrats to you on that. But yeah, I'd like to start with you just telling us, let's talk about some of the highlights from your career. And I would also just love to see, your thoughts about how the industry has sort of evolved and, how we got to where we are today. So, yeah, wherever you'd like to start.
Well, I can start with where I started, which obviously has been years ago. But actually, I was lucky when I started in deli bakery business. They were just evolving here in Michigan. So I was a deli bakery manager at a major retailer for 11 years in Grand Rapids. And then I was working in that department. And while I was there, probably a lot of things I've learned I have taken with me, which has helped me in the sales and what I do now. So probably 6 things there was that I brought with me as managing a team. I have a team that works for me. Product knowledge. I learn something every day about the different products that are in deli and bakery, whether they're mine or somebody else's. Preparation. Merchandising, which is very, very important with the stores. Customer service. If you don't take care of the customers, whether I'm selling something to them or they're coming to me to have something sold to them, that's very important to have. And the sanitation. So those were kind of what I learned in the 11 years that I was there. And then when I came over to be a broker, a food broker for 35 years, I got to bring in a lot of that with me when I'm out talking to the stores, when I'm talking to the retailers to sell. And those things have helped me. So kind of when you go and learn it hands-on versus just reading it in a book, it really have helped me over the years. So while I was being a broker, I represented in my 35 years, probably most of the best manufacturers that are in the industry during that time. I worked with large retailers. I worked with independents. And during this time, I not only sold products to them, I was helping on new store sets. I was training employees. I was merchandising. I was trying to explain the difference between the Havartis versus a provolone and natural cheeses and things. So those were things that I also was able to do while I was in being a food broker. So
it kind of sounds like education was a piece of that too, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
So, then what I did and am still doing, my biggest highlight of being in the industry was working with the IDDBA for 25 years. I was on the committees. I was on the board of directors, the executive board. I was September 22. The biggest committee that I was on was at that time. It is now called What's in Store Live. This team works for months. It's not just a few weeks before. It's not just before the show. We started working for months. You plan innovative ideas. You work with the manufacturers on what products they're going to be able to give us, the new ideas. If they have new products ready, they come up with the cheese cases that they do, and they're from around the world. All those types of things they work on for months. So that is a very important part of the show that everybody should go back and see the What's in Store Live. Why it's called What's in Store now versus Show and Sell as it used to be called is because the book that they publish. So it ties in with the book. The things that they're doing at the show, they're making it live on what to do with the products and what the current trends, stuff like that. So the book is for deli and bakeries. Every deli and bakery really should have that book, whether it's store level or at corporate level. It has the trends, the insights, consumer knowledge, and IDDBA. I'm not going to stand here and tell you the selling story, but it's very important to the industry that the retailers really should have that book, and anybody at the IDDBA can help with that book.
Nice.
Then
so it sounds like the Bible of dairy, deli, bakery, sort of, that you should have in your store.
But at least you understand, people look at what's in store live. At least it explains what that is a little bit. So lastly, I retired in October 2024. After about 6.5 months, I just realized that I was not ready for retirement, like a lot of people that leave and say, but I miss the people in the industry and being out there all the time. And so I am now happy to announce that I am back in the industry and in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we're opening up a new division for Epic Sales here. And so I'll be, as you had said, Vice President of Business Development. What this reminds me of, and you're too young to know her because she has been passed for many years now, but Carol Christensen, who was the CEO and president of the IDDBA, she told me once, well, more than once, that once it gets in your blood and you learn the people, what they're selling, the manufacturers, the production, everything about it, you never want to leave. It gets in your blood and you don't want to leave. And she was so right about that statement, because it's a very fun industry to be in, and hopefully it continues forever, which I'm sure it will. So I'd like to thank the IDDBA and all the folks involved with the IDDBA, and all the help that they gave me and the knowledge that I received in all of those years. That's all what I've got on how I got here.
Oh, that's wonderful, Dottie. I'm sure the industry is happy to have you back actively in it. So that's great to hear. Hopefully. I'm sure. I have a feeling. Okay, well, let's jump into a little trends in fresh.
Okay.
I'd love to hear how you see, have seen Perimeter Fresh evolve, just over the course of your career. And I think the follow-up to that too is, what are consumers hungry for now? And, and where are things sort of headed with fresh moving forward, in your opinion?
Okay. So really, it's total different than when I started. When I started, delis were just starting, as I said, and we started with a 12-foot case next to the meat department. And we would have a small 4-foot hot case with rotisserie chickens and ribs in them, and knee knocker in front of the deli. In the delis, all we would have is bulk meat, bulk salads, and bulk cheese. That was our deli, and that's how we started. Bakeries, we had like a upright wall back in commercial, or sometimes was stuck back in produce, and we had commercial donuts and breads, and nothing like it is today, but that was how the bakeries and delis started. The difference is now that people have been with the delis and the bakeries out there for years, fresh is getting, everybody wants fresh, everybody wants quality, and they want quality but not at a premium cost now, is what we're finding. So they still want the quality. They want the wellness to it with the great ingredients, but they do not want to pay that premium price in order to get the quality. So there's a little bit of understanding out there. Some of them are saying they'll accept a higher price, but not the premium price for the quality. So, and also, like I just said, the wellness, that's very important out there right now, is what is on those ingredient labels and what is being put in the products. Let me think also.
So wait, how do you give people higher quality who don't want to pay the price for higher quality? How does that work?
Well, that's what everybody's working on right now, and trying to hold those price points. And it's not because right away everybody thinks, oh, it's the tariffs. It's not the tariffs. It's cleaning up the ingredients. It is taking, like right now, they want that red dye out of everything. It's all of those types of things that you still want to keep that quality, even a little higher quality, in order to keep going what we have happening in the deli and bakeries, because obviously they continue to grow. I mean, when I started, there was 2 stupid cases there, where now, I mean, it's the whole perimeter of the store. It's all fresh. It's all important to the consumers. It's just to keep it fresh in all of our minds. And it's not always new products. I mean, if they have a SKU, come up with 2 or 3 things differently you can do with that. Add a different add a different spice or something to it. Or when that type of thing, everybody's talking countries that have different flavors. Add a different flavor instead of always having it the same flavor. So that way it also helps their turns by using that SKU for more than just one thing. So
I feel like I've been reading a lot that just even like the Gen Z millennial, they're very interested in, Asian flavors, different spices. Just the perception of having different, new, exciting flavors is something that I think it seems is important to them.
And they're the ones who are saying they would rather spend more if it's quality and convenient. The convenience, as I know that question's coming up, the convenience is very important to everybody. And I see it more happening. I mean, they just don't want to spend the time in the kitchen. They'll take a pre-made meal from the store and they'll add a little bit to it at home to make it feel like they made it themselves and different flavors to it. So, yeah.
We're all exhausted and we're all looking for solutions.
Yes,
we all don't want to cook. Oh, that's great. I want to go back to what you said about wellness, because I mean, wellness just feels like it's not going away anytime soon.
No, it's
In
not.
fact, it only seems to be growing and growing. So what is that tangibly? How does that translate to the deli? What are we seeing? How does wellness translate to deli right now? What kinds of things are you seeing?
Well, that is where they're getting better at. You're seeing gluten-free there. You're seeing, whether it be a bakery item or a deli item, they're trying to work together on getting those things. Because there is a lot of good tasting gluten-free. And the only way I know that is one of my grandsons, he's ill, and that's the only thing he needs is gluten-free, and I'm shocked at how it's turned around from where it started. So people are working hard on that. There's a lot of vegan products that are out there that are very good taste. So you got your vegan, your gluten-free, you've got they want low sugar in products. So that's why they're standing there looking at labels. I never used to look at a label, and now that's all I look at. And don't ask me why, but everybody else doing it, I might as well do it. But it's important to them.
I think of Lowe's, not that it's deli, but their branding with their private label. It's like they call it like the brown label or the brown paper or something, but it's literally like, that's the stamp that tells you it only has these ingredients and it won't have any of these processed ingredients. So it's like trying to save the consumer or the shopper time of, like you're saying, everybody wants to stand and read the label. So where you can save them some time on that is probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's very smart. I don't live around the Lowe's in order to do that, but that's an excellent idea to do.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So what else we got here? Let's see. I feel like in bakery, I know we're seeing, sustainability as a trend. We're seeing a lot of trending flavors. I mean, I know the Dubai chocolate continues also to just be kind of a huge thing. Flan, tres leches. And I know we're seeing a hunger for wellness in bakery too. With keto friendly, we got gluten-free there too. What else you seeing in bakery?
Consumers want high quality in the bakeries. By them saying that, they mean like the artisan breads and infuse them with herbs and stuff like that to give them a better quality. They like customized pastries with different flavor profiles, as we were talking about from the other countries. I mean, that is really getting popular out there. They love seeing the customized cakes. I mean, that really, the beauty of all the cakes that the cake decorators do is amazing. And I know I never could even begin to even think to make one. So people like finding the customization. They also like looking right now more and more for locally sourced within the stores, whether they're, they're like them coming in, so they're right there for them, and you're finding more of that. Shop years are down to the whole grains and the low sugar, which I had already said, and plant-based. So those are things that they're looking at and for.
Nice. And I feel like the local piece feels also too maybe about freshness, right?
Yeah.
Because the local equals fresh, and potentially the local equals more of that wellness too,
Yeah.
right? Like maybe less preservatives because it's making less of a trip, or et cetera.
That's why if you walk by sometimes a deli and there's only like 2 pieces left there, do you really want to take what's there? Because it don't scream fresh. And that's what deli bakery is
Right.
supposed to be about. You got to keep those cases moving and rotating and making it don't look like it's old. You need that fresh, because that's what they're looking for. They want fresh.
Hmm. And how would you say, this is kind of on the flip side, away from the consumer and back to the retailer thought, but like, how would you say retailer pain points have evolved since you were first started out to now? Are the pain points the same? Are they different? Is it talking about frequency of getting things moved, or, what do they encounter now in deli bakery? Like what's their challenges now? Are they exactly the same, or have they evolved over the years?
Well, actually, the merchandising of their cases has changed, which goes to all of a sudden prepared foods. I mean, it's 5.6% that they've increased. So how would the space that they have, where and how do you come up with more space for them? And do you take it away from the traditionals, which are lacking in sales? Do you take it away from traditional, but then you're going to have that same consumer coming back and expecting the traditional also? So they really have a challenge right now on where to put what. Same with snacking. Snacking is so huge. I mean, that just continues to grow every year since there was a pandemic. Everybody thought they'd slow down on snacking after it was over, but now it just continues to grow. So again, you need to find room in their grab-and-go case for not only snacking, for trays, for their packaged salads, their packaged meats, their meals. Everything needs to fit into these cases. Now, I know there's some retailers that took their glass doors off the front of the deli case and reset up their cases so that they can have their grab-and-go there and cut back on service case. But there again, now they don't have the variety, and you have the consumers not happy with that. So it's going to be different, and it has been different. And also the consumers now are always in a hurry, where it used to be they would stand forever and talk to you at the deli counters, what's new, taste everything. They don't have time for that anymore. So if we don't have it ready in the deli and bakeries, we're not going to sell it. It's got to be convenient.
God, you're so right. I'm just thinking back to like my childhood and like standing eating the slices of cheese.
Yeah.
I don't even do that anymore. Maybe I should be standing and eating cheese more often than I am now as an adult.
Yeah, just
But
one
you're
of those
right.
things. You did say, hey, well, I'm slicing your meat. Would you like some cheese? They stand there and you talk.
Yeah.
But they don't have time for that anymore because everybody's in a hurry.
That's so funny, which goes back to the convenience. And
there you go.
Yeah, convenience. Okay, well, that's great. Let's see. So we did talk a little bit about merchandising there too.
Yeah.
I want to say, what are you looking forward to the most this year at this year's IDDBA show, Dottie?
Oh, our number one always is the people. We hope there's more and more people there every year. I'm looking forward to seeing them. But for their new products, they are saying we have so many new products this year, and it's been lagging since the pandemic. So this is going to be fun, seeing so many new products that they have. The speakers, always love going seeing the speakers, and hopefully everybody goes to the speakers. And what's in store live. I know every retailer, no matter how out of the box something looks there is other things that everybody should be able to walk out of there with new ideas.
That's great. Yeah, you're talking about new products. It makes me think we'll have to get a little new product slideshow for Supermarket News to let everybody see who doesn't get a chance to go to IDDBA what some of those great new products are.
Yeah, they'd love that.
Well, wonderful. Dottie, anything else? Any sort of final takeaways? Anything that retailers should be thinking about as they gear up, kind of finishing 2025, going into 26?
It's not hard to believe already, but no, just remember the snacking.
Like we're halfway there.
Just remember the convenience and the snacking that the people are looking for. So that's going to be our biggest thing. But I appreciate the time that you gave me today, and hopefully everybody else appreciated what I said, and it all works for all.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And as a reminder to everybody out there listening, the IDDBA show is Sunday, June 1st through Tuesday, June 3rd at the Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center in New Orleans, in Louisiana. I know my colleague, senior editor Bill Wilson, is going to be there. Dottie's going to be there too. And we hope, you listeners all come out to the show as well. So thanks very much again, Dottie, and take care, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.